So Marvel has a new Netflix series out. There's only one problem. Who the hell is Iron Fist?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Over a Couple of Drinks presents What the Hell is Iron Fist? Or Who the Hell is Iron Fist? I am your host, as always, Bill. Hi. With me, our regular, because you've been promoted, I keep forgetting that, is Jess! And dug out from the mountains of Kunlun is Chris Krause himself. How you been, buddy? We've missed you.
I've been good, living in New York and trying not to starve to death. So, yeah.
Right on.
It looks like that's not working for you.
No.
Dude, for real.
How did you watch up that Han Solo edition, motherfucker?
Just hungry.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just needed to be Han Solo. That was it. I should have got the Han Solo.
Did you go audition for Cursed Child at least?
No, good lord. You should. I mean, not segue or anything, but like, if anyone wants entertainment, read Audition Update and the threads about Cursed Child. It was a shit show.
Remind me to send you guys a link of everything wrong with the Cursed Child. This guy breaks it down, and I'm like, oh shit.
It's a lot, but the auditions, apparently there were kids who weren't actors showing up in robes. Some people thought J.K. Rowling would be at an equity call for some reason. It was horrible. Yeah. Anyways, so
we're talking to you today about Iron Fist, the next upcoming Marvel Netflix TV show. I'm excited for it.
And The Last Defender.
The Last Defender. This is the last one before the Defenders, and my cat just started one of my kids' toys.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Way to go.
Well, he also was the Knight of the Flowers, so.
He was.
Exactly.
He was.
Yeah.
So Jess and I have a lot of history with this guy.
Yeah.
Being the Game of Thrones heads.
It's going to be really hard to see him be macho.
It's going to be
You've
really
seen a
hard
lot
to...
of him.
Well,
You've seen a lot in general.
I've seen a lot of him, yeah.
I've seen a lot of his ass.
Pretty sure we've seen some dong.
Did we see his dong?
Was it his or was it the dude he was boning?
Did we see his Iron Fist? Did we see his Iron Fist? Anyways,
we're actually talking about the adult parody Iron Fist, completely different. But
Iron
Joke's
Fist.
on you guys.
Iron Fist. So we're talking about Iron Fist. So Chris, as always, when it comes to wide knowledge in comic book verse, we dig you up and put you on stage so you can spread your vast knowledge of it. Break us down. Who the hell is Iron Fist for people who don't know, because he's a little bit obscure.
He is a little obscure. Iron Fist, also known as Danny Rand, was created by Roy Thomas and Gil Kane in the 70s. He was actually popularizing off of the Kung Fu movie craze that was going on at that time, in the same way that Luke Cage was popularizing off the blaxploitation movies. And Iron Fist and Luke Cage were probably what they're most well known for, but previous to this is that they were teamed together. So Iron Fist and Power Man was a fairly popular comic from the 70s and 80s. And he's known because he's mastered an ancient martial art where he can focus his chi into his hand and basically hit people really fucking hard.
And occasionally shoot fireballs.
So he's basically... himself. And he's basically like a superhuman kung fu master. And... yeah, that's why I was saying, he's the biggest thing he's known for is really capitalizing off of the kung fu craze in the 70s. Marvel was big on kind of taking cultural tropes at the time and then putting them in their comics. So
like you said,
represented by white people.
White people. Well, because that's what it's all.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll get into that in a minute. The other thing is, you brought up that he's friends with Luke Cage in the comics. They're part of Heroes for Hire. Oh, excuse me. And it was one of those things where ultimately when Iron Fist started to die down, he was coupled with another superhero to sell the comics. This is why Daredevil and Thor shared a comic. They didn't share storylines, but it was a double issue. Or why the Avengers are so filled with, B-rate heroes and Captain America.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're like, what do we do with these guys? So
what makes me really hopeful is now we're going to do it. Knowing that now, pretty much all you need to know. We'll probably go into a little bit more about stuff as we get into the Netflix idea, is that I'm excited to see how this plays out with the connectivity of everything in the Marvel Netflix universe. Because sometimes these shows do a really great job with connectivity, and Turk Bentley showing up in every single series is great. And really, I'm hoping that towards the end of the series that Luke Cage shows up as kind of this other middle feature kind of thing, because he's been in Jessica Jones. He had his own show, which I'm currently still watching, and I love him. And it's kind of feeling like he's like that next step up into connectivity. Like, you know, Rosario Dawson's in every single one. And
she's in all of them.
That's great. Same with Turk, but like Luke Cage.
I'll never say no to Rosario Dawson.
What?
I said I'll never say no to more Rosario Dawson.
No,
exactly.
And she's fantastic. And I heard Carrie-Anne Moss is in this one too. So
okay.
So it's
as a lawyer.
Yeah, as the lawyer. Yeah. So it's. I'm excited to see how this fits in. This one looks like it's following the storyline that his parents and him, and maybe does he have a brother that dies too? I don't know.
I think in the original comic, I thought it was just him. I thought his dad brought him and his mom, and because the original comic, his dad knew the person that I think ends up training Danny, and then he went to go back, and someone who was with them also was in love with the mom, and something happened while they were hiking.
His associate. It was
something associate, and then Danny, the dad dies, and the mom ended up dying too along the way, and Danny basically was like, "I want revenge. Train me to be awesome."
Be awesome. And then this one looks like there's a plane crash.
Yeah, it looks more like kind of what Arrow did, actually.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of vibes, and some people kind of called it out. They're like, this is similar to Arrow. So who knows? Yeah, it looks like it's just a plane crash and less of the love triangle thing.
A plane crash. He's stranded in some mountain range, and he's taken to. How do you pronounce the place?
Dude, that's that.
Long? Is that it?
Kung.
Something like that. Which
we're really white people. Sorry.
Jess, you were talking about how it's actually a different planet.
Yeah, it was. I was reading up on it because I'm actually the person that knows the least on the issue, and so I was doing some research, and it was talking about how it was like another planet or another world that only appears on Earth like every X amount of years.
Oh.
Kraus?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Weigh in on that?
That sounds familiar. That sounds like similar stuff to like what they've done with Doctor Strange before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded very Doctor Strange.
Here's hoping they make that connection in this to kind of like cement again the Marvel Cinematic Universe of, hey, this is like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know what I mean? Like that. The one thing too, especially this, like if I remember, I think he gains his power by he has to defeat a dragon. And then, like, literally, like...
The tattoo is his power,
isn't it?
And, like, doesn't he, like, pull its heart out or, like, has to punch his fist into its, like, molten heart? And that's, like, what gives it the thing. So it's very mystical. And, like, you know,
and he's more of a... In this, they've stated that he's more of a monk, trying to ease his, like, bring inner peace to himself, which I'm hoping turns out good. And we'll talk about what we're tiptoeing around right now in a minute.
The mixed react, the first six not issues, episodes were reviewed. And they were given reviews. So
and they're there.
They're there.
They sure are.
Is there anything we want to talk about before we get to those? Do we want to talk about the whitewashing?
Yeah, I think that's an
the white problem.
The white problem. A bunch of white people talking about the white problem. Hi, welcome to 2017.
We're in Trump's America, people.
So this series has been just smothered in controversy from the get-go. Which is problematic. It's the same problem with, if you knew, and I think we touched about it a little bit about Doctor Strange, with the idea of the Ancient One being played by Tilda Swinton, which caused a lot of problems. But again, in the comics, the Ancient One was a horribly racist character.
He was.
Just like the Mandarin. People keep forgetting. The Mandarin was a terribly racist character, and here you have an Englishman playing him, Ben Kingsley,
the Mandarin.
I mean, I guess that's a whole lot better than, like casting somebody that is race appropriate and them being very like
racist about it. It's
very racist and very like culturally
insensitive.
Like insensitive. Yeah.
I think their argument that a lot of people had on the other end of the coin is that they're like, well, you can still cast someone that's race appropriate, but then write the character so they're not a stereotype.
Yeah.
Danny Rand's interesting because he falls into like kind of the white savior trope.
He does.
You know, whereas like let's see a white man come to this other culture. Now he doesn't stay there because a big thing about the white savior is like what's a good one? The Last Samurai or
Fuck that movie.
you
That
know
movie could have been
you
better.
know
I
he
love
shows
that movie.
up.
Fuck it.
I like that movie too. But when you stop and think about it, it's that typical story of a white man comes into a culture he's unaware
Exactly.
of people of color.
Masters it and becomes better.
He masters it, he becomes better. He ends up leading them and having to save them. And it's that white savior story. And Danny, the difference thing about Danny Rand and Iron Fist is that he leaves.
He leaves. He doesn't.
But
he leaves it because he doesn't want to be this weapon that they're creating him.
Yeah.
And
Now the unfortunate part is he's associated with a power that's directly linked to a specific culture, whereas like Batman went to another culture just to learn how to fight, and he left.
Yeah.
He didn't try to take their culture and adopt it as his own, like, unless we didn't know that somewhere in Asia they all dress up like bats and that was an Asian thing and that Batman's really racist. But I don't think he is. So,
No, and then
we should make a movie about that.
We should.
God.
We should make it a mockumentary called The Bat Culture.
The Bat
God.
Oh my God.
We're fucking trademarking it. We're trademarking it. Anybody takes it, we're taking 50%, motherfuckers.
Bill and AP come back for one episode, Bill. I'm just saying. Bill and AP come back for one episode.
No, because like we had to dig you out of a hole. Like there's a deeper hole that
we have to go. You have to like bypass.
Have to go deeper.
Traps. We gotta go deeper.
we gotta go into Inception, and there's a seance to raise him from the dead. Yeah,
Yeah, the interesting thing about Danny Rand is when everyone is throwing out the idea of whitewashing, I understand. We're not saying this as our podcast that nobody watches.
Yeah.
That there isn't a problem with Asian American actors getting shifted, stiffed. I'm 3 beers deep. Shut up. Underrepresented. Only three, but one of them was Dragon's Milk because I felt it was appropriate to talk about Iron Fist.
You're right.
But like the main problem here was Danny Rand is white.
Yeah.
He's white in the comics. You can't be mad at them for casting a white guy for a white character in the comics. Now, if they would have changed him to be Asian American, I wouldn't have had a problem. There would have been people who would have had a problem, but I don't care. Of course, I'm also one of those people who said, yes, Donald Glover should be the new Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And honestly, I agree with you because I think, certain characters, you change the race, it really changes them. You make Captain America not white, you then tell a story that's different to what they originally said because he grew up in the 40s, I
think we talked about this once on a podcast with you where there's like really only like 5 characters ever that have to be a specific race. Black Panther.
Like Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Magneto has to be a white Jew. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made it through the internment camps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he would have been dead.
Wolverine has to be white unless you completely rewrite his story, which I did bring up. If you want to give me a Japanese Wolverine, I would love to see that history. Yeah. Like, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting thing about whitewashing, in a sense, Magneto and Professor X were based off Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
No, yeah. That was
certain thing to point out. I mean, now they're great characters. I think one of the things too coming out with this criticism is that it sounds like the movie it's just not done that well. And I feel like people have bitched about Doctor Strange, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, like that was the thing. With Tilda Swinton, she was amazing in that movie.
She was great. Yeah.
The way she played this as this really I don't want to say unhinged, but unnerved character, where she never stared at anybody in the eyes because of the guilt she carried for a millennial, pretty much. You're just like, what is this character, and why do I want to know more? And she's bringing it to life, and this is fantastic. I understand the whitewashing problem, but I didn't see the major problem because, like, I was hoping they would bring up the idea that the Ancient One was a spirit that took over.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd do that too, and then we could say that she was an old Asian man too at one point. Because if anyone was an old Asian man and then also a white woman, it'd be Tilda Swinton. True story.
Yeah. So let's dive into it. The first 6 episodes were released to certain people who reviewed it, and most of the reviews have been negative.
Yeah.
People stating that it's boring.
Yeah.
People stating that the fight scenes are uninspired, that it's boardroom drama. And have you guys read any of them?
Yeah, I have.
I have read a good few, and those were like the little similarities. One thing that I will talk about in a minute really bothered me about some of them. Like out of like the 10 that I read, like 5 or 6 had this glaring problem, which still holds me up. Uninspired fight scenes, bad director, pretty much. You know,
That's not good, especially in a show that's built around a dude who's supposed to be a kung fu master.
right?
Like, you gotta have good fight scenes.
This one's title is Iron Fist isn't just racially uncomfortable; it's also boring.
Yeah, you know, that's honestly,
That's
I mean,
pretty rough.
not to sound awful, but like, I realize that I'm a white straight man coming at this, so I'm not in the best position to talk about these things. But I do feel like some of the things may be a little overblown in this. Like, I don't feel like this is going to be another Free State of Jones or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that was what I was going to bring up. Like, out of the 6 articles, like the 10 articles that I read, 6 of them went off on these like 3-paragraph rants about why he's white and not about the show. And I'm like, I'm coming here to get your reactions about how the show plays out and if it's boring or not your political views.
Yeah.
Now,
see, and what I'm really curious about, because honestly, when I know you're watching Luke Cage right now, but there was like, Luke Cage was a slow burn.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know whether
that
or
kind
not
of peaked
the
in the
people,
middle.
Yeah, it
right.
Did.
Yeah.
Like,
And like, I'm wondering if the people who are writing that it's boring are confusing it, like, you know, not understanding the concept of a slow burn, if it's similar to that.
Well, it's like you look at the Netflix shows that we've got so far of the Marvel variety. Daredevil season 1, very slow burn, like the slowest of burns.
Right.
Yeah. Though to be fair, season episode 2 was the hallway fight.
Yeah.
That was the hallway where you were like,
but then you have Jessica Jones, which in my opinion right now is still the best. Is the best one.
It's the emotional gut punch at the end of that first episode was enough to make me go, holy shit. You know,
story-wise, that unfolded a lot of layers over lots of episodes, and that was something that I really appreciated in a slow burn. Granted, there were certain points and scenes that grabbed your attention, that made you made you say, "Shut up and look at me and listen what I'm gonna say," and you're like, "What is this? This is amazing," you know.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil season 2 started with a pop and ended with a fizzle. You know, and Luke Cage is a mixed bag right now. I'm enjoying it, but there's definitely problems with it.
You'll see. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but for me, Luke Cage peaked in the middle because of very noticeable.
Yeah, no, I'm there. Spoiler alert, because we didn't do a full review.
Spoilers.
When they killed Cottonmouth, that was the biggest problem that show has. Removing him.
He was the most fascinating thing in the show to me. Cottonmouth was a great villain, and it was a great moment.
God,
it was a great moment.
He's such a good actor.
If anything, they should have arrested him.
Yeah.
And put him in a scene with D'Onofrio.
Yeah, God.
Like that right there, because they bring up Fisk a lot in that. Like, put him in a scene with D'Onofrio. He's like, where like even idea where like not. I mean, racially, you could see how a problem is. Like him saying, "You're gonna work for me," and Cottonmouth goes, "No, we're gonna work together." Like that would have been like an amazing scene, because just like even his smirk and his laugh is just contagious and it's so good. But when they killed him, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I
mean, I will say it was a great moment for his sister. Like, I did not see it coming. I was like,
I saw it coming. I
didn't think she was gonna kill him. I knew she was gonna freak out. I didn't think she was gonna shove him out a damn window and then bash his brains in with a freaking stand. You know.
The thing is,
I expected her to like knock him out and then like use that as a power move, like
something. You know,
it's just like Cottonmouth was becoming the next Fisk in my mind.
Yeah,
he was relatable, but he was incredibly dangerous, and I loved it. So that was their biggest fault, and I'm honestly. I only got like 3 episodes left. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it anymore. So
I'll say I do think that because Luke Cage broke a lot of racial boundaries, people were a little bit more forgiving. And that happens with any show that I think it breaks any kind of boundary. I mean, to be honest, people are going to freak out about me, any nerds that are watching this. Go back and watch Blade Runner and compare it as a movie today. Blade Runner was visually revolutionary, like literally predicted the future. Walk through Times Square. It's Blade Runner. But as a movie, I feel like it's more of a collection of amazing moments than necessarily a really well-functioning movie.
Yep.
And people critically held it this lofty regard, but I think they overlooked some things because it broke boundaries. I think Luke Cage was the same way. You know, I think it got a little leeway.
So
I want to remember that comment for when we review the new Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
oh god,
Let's put a pin on that.
I'm gonna break my
and
Blade
see
Runner
how-
count so hard if they fuck that movie up. Oh,
Ugh.
I'm gonna hate watch that movie so bad. Oh god, I forgot that was coming out, and on top of that,
Yes.
Alien Covenant. Oh god,
On
my
top of
stomach
that.
hurts.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck me.
So this will be the first. The Bill Henning ruins everything.
Bill Henning ruins everything. That's what we're doing. We're doing a
Hey,
new
Bill.
show called We Ruin Everything.
You inspired me, Chris Kraus, by being so atrociously late to this that I was like, we should start a new series called
Bill runs
Chris
everything.
Kraus ruins
Blank
everything.
ruins everything.
I was
And
like, let's just
someone-
make it blank.
Where
Just
two
blank.
people just start talking about how they love it, and someone comes in and goes, "You know what I fucking hate." And
You know what I
That
hate?
talks
Fuck
about
this.
canon and how it was just awful to canon and true nerds wouldn't.
Oh, God.
Like,
I'm
Oh,
having
I
a
want
stomach
that.
ulcer right now at the anger that I could have at
hey,
Blade Runner
hey.
2049.
Deep
Hey
breaths.
Bill, Declan's a replicant because of unicorns from Legend.
Anyways, Iron Fist. So they said it's awkward, it's poorly written, it's a lot of
Mhm.
boardroom drama, and the fight scenes are uninspired. That's the first 6 episodes.
I've also
I'll
heard that they
judge
said
it
the
that.
lead is not very charismatic. And to be honest, when I heard they cast him, I was like, he never grabbed
Well,
me in Game of Thrones.
to
No,
be
I was
fair-
never that interested.
To be fair,
Yeah.
Luke Cage is kind of a blank slate.
You know, I will say he didn't have the same level of charisma he did in Jessica Jones, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I wonder if it was a cultural. I'm gonna be that person. I wonder if it was cultural.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't read it as charisma because we're white people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I
an
don't know.
interesting.
I don't know. I like to think that I don't think that way, but
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's racist. That's what we heard. That's what
Yeah.
Avenue Q told me. Everybody's
everyone's
a
a
bit racist.
little bit racist. Sometimes.
I mean, okay, even if Iron Fist is the worst Netflix Marvel show, I'm gonna say this: it ultimately doesn't matter.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Because it just puts us a step closer to the fucking Defenders,
gonna-
finally.
We're gonna get the Defenders either way, but the important thing about this is why it also doesn't matter is because Marvel is gonna turn and look at Iron Fist and go, "What went wrong?"
Yeah.
And they're gonna deconstruct it and make sure it never happens.
And they're gonna
again.
Fantastic Four it four
Okay.
more times.
I don't think they would reboot it or remake it or anything. They're gonna fix it in season 2 because they're gonna go, what went wrong, and we're gonna fix it because we have been the king of Netflix, and we're gonna keep being the kings of Netflix, and everyone can suck it, you know.
Or they'll pull a Hulk with him, where they won't do another series featuring him, but they'll make good use of him in team movies.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's honestly, if they come out with Luke Cage and Iron Fist for Luke Cage season 2, Iron Fist is in 7 of the 12 episodes, I'd be fine with. You know?
Maybe it's just not a strong enough character to carry his own.
Which
That's
totally
That's
fine.
legitimate.
It's like I think ultimately this would be a good thing because maybe they'll step back on the idea of expanding these characters that don't have a huge audience. I don't really want a Moon Knight TV show because I don't think he can hold 13 episodes. But to also be fair, we have talked about multiple occasions. All of these characters right now can't hold 13 episodes. There's
Moon Knight?
Moon Knight. Trust
Yeah,
me.
Moon Knight. Yeah, he's
Moon like Knigget? Like Moon Knight?
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
like my high school, the Black Knights. Okay.
the fact that he's a thing.
Right.
He's crazy. He's like imagine an insane Batman. That's basically
he's a
Moon Knight.
Batman
He's a
whose
crazy.
power is controlled by the cycle of the moon. It's dumb.
Yeah,
There's a
and he's
lot of
insane.
And
He's
he's
insane.
But
Yeah.
but I don't want that show. I don't know if Ghost Rider can hold his own TV show. You know.
He can't. It
No.
wasn't good.
One thing I will say,
He can't. It's not
I
good.
one thing I will say is that I think that all the Netflix shows, even the best ones, have all had a pacing issue.
Oh
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
even Jessica Jones felt like it went on 2 episodes too long,
About-
3 episodes too long. You know.
That's what I was about to say. About episode 8, every series, most glaringly in Daredevil season 2, start to stumble and don't really stick the landing.
No.
It's just
Yeah.
the opposite of Game of Thrones.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's
You're right. Yeah.
that's the flip side to everyone arguing about, oh my god, Stranger Things season 1 was only 8 episodes. Why? I'm like, but it was 8 amazing episodes.
It didn't need any more.
It
You know,
didn't.
I kind of wish Marvel, do 4 episodes of Moon Knight.
Yeah. Well,
Do a really good 4-episode story, kind of thing.
Defenders is only going to be 8 or 9 episodes, and I'm like, perfect, because
Yeah,
that's all you got. You
that's all
know,
you need sometimes.
like, yes, Jessica Jones is the best, but it did stumble around 8 or 9 or something like that. Basically,
Yeah,
But it recovered.
It
no,
did.
it did. It just when Jessica captured Kilgrave, it kind of lost its momentum.
Yeah,
And
and that weird episode where the people from the help group randomly decide to attack her for
yeah,
no real reason, and she gets knocked out by the chick with the board. And I'm like, but then we see her get hit by a car in the next episode, and she like just pops up from that. And I'm like, wait,
yeah.
what?
It's the tiny things. Like in Daredevil season 1, you didn't notice it because when it started to stagger, it fell more on Fisk, and D'Onofrio was great. And you're like, holy shit, D'Onofrio is amazing. But then you go back and go, no, there's a lot of filler in those episodes that were dumb.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and it did I feels like they peak, like you say, around 7 or 8, and the ending never lives up to other things that happened in that season.
So I'm really hoping with Iron Fist, the 6 episodes was their slum, and it picks up from there, because one thing we haven't talked about is Madame Gao is in this, and I'm excited to see her again.
I'm excited for
I did read one review that said she's good. And I'm not surprised because she was great in season 1 of Daredevil.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see her again. I'm excited to see her expanded, and I'm hoping that these first 6 episodes is just kind of like them not knowing what's going on.
Yeah,
and hopefully it kind of pays out, because here's the thing that I've been dealing with a lot lately in my brain, because I'm getting ready for a Doctor Who special, where is an episode that starts off weak but gets great, you remember fondly. But an episode that starts great and ends poorly, you think negatively upon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
So if 6 episodes in, it's just kind of okay, but gets great, then we're going to remember and be like, man, Iron Fist was dope.
Yeah.
But if it just kind of stays meh, then we're going to think, it was all right. We're starting to see
the TV.
There.
Speaking of
Doctor, it's just like with jobs.
Yeah, you're right. It is. So, speaking of Doctor Who, with the TV show Jekyll, if anyone's watched that, it was a modern take on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Amazing opening. One of the best openings to a TV show ever. What Moffat did, set up an amazing idea that he couldn't really figure out how to conclude. And I have a kind of a negative connotation with it, despite having probably one of the most instantly gripping openings to a show that I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Is that a BBC?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I saw that.
It's
great opening. It ends kind of,
It's like right now in my brain, I'm thinking Daredevil season 2 is just not as good.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that the Punisher was amazing in it, and the Daredevil fights were amazing, and Fisk showing up towards the end was great. It ends weakly. It ends weak. So I'm hoping, and this isn't as like a Marvel fanboy. I'm just hoping it's a good show, just to keep the good things going.
Hey, if it is the weakest Netflix, I still can't imagine it's going to get as bad as Arrow has gotten at certain points. When Arrow's bad, Arrow's
bad.
Really bad.
Yeah. And again, we're all moving towards the Defenders regardless. This is Thor and Captain America: The First Avengers heading towards the Avengers. We're already past it. This is just here to float.
We're almost there.
And I don't think it hurts. I don't think it's going to hurt the hype for Avengers. Even if it is really bad, people are still going to be excited to see Defenders. Well, people are still going to be excited to see that show.
Yeah, because there's a picture out of Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock laughing in an alley, and I'm like, I'm excited.
I love that. I'm excited.
So
I told you guys I rode the train back with Charlie Cox, right?
Yeah, you did.
Fuck
yeah. I ended up talking to him for 40 minutes. He was a really nice guy. Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I think we are done. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for our Iron Fist review, our Series of Unfortunate Events review, what the hell is Ghost in the Shell, what the hell is Legion, and some other shit that I gotta do. I got a lot of work.
I just got real excited.
All right.
Game of Thrones won't come back until July.
Yeah, we got Game of Thrones coming up.
4 months. 4 months.
When does Defenders do? The end of the year?
I think I'll have to go look at that again.
And then,
Probably November.
So.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so. They always do March and November. It seems like those are their 2 release dates. So.
And then we'll probably do a Logan review here in a bit, just because I don't care.
It's good.
We'll do some other shit. I will hate watch Alien Covenant.
Bill.
I don't. We're gonna hate watch Han Solo movie. We're gonna hate watch everything. We're gonna hate watch it all.
Why do you hate everything?
Because I'm old and I'm cynical.
Oh,
Okay.
you are old.
When is Homecoming coming out? Soon?
July?
July?
I think.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is coming out next.
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to.
That is something to look forward to because that looks
Yep.
amazing. All right, everybody. Good night.
See ya.